Hello and welcome to Insights from an Autistic. Today's topic is one that I've discussed various times before. However, I realized that after, meeting more people with autism, that I need to adjust everything that I said about stimming. Now, in my previous videos I talked about how stimming is enjoyable for me and many others with autism. But now I realize that there's two types of stimming. And so this video is going to address both of these forms of stimming and what should happen in both regards. So the first stimming is the type of stimming that I typically engage in, which is if I get very excited about something, usually like I'll be thinking about something that's very exciting to me. Perhaps I get excited because someone sends me a very nice email, and then I get very excited and start stimming. Or in the past, I get very excited because I was watching G.I. Joe. Then after I'm done watching, I will the scenes from the G.I. Joe episode, I'll replay it in my mind. Or today, there might be like a song that I like, so I'll play that song over and over again through YouTube, and then I'll start stimming. Or it used to be G.I. Joe, so I'm in Star Wars, so if I thought about Star Wars, then I'd start, getting very excited, and then the flapping my hands would add to that excitement, and make it even more and more exciting, and then, I'd just be flapping my hands like that. So, and I do this still in private. Actually, usually what I do, I usually need a tactile sensation. When I was a kid, I would flap my hands while having like a G.I. Joe action figure. Like today, I'll have like a comic book, usually one that I got from like Free Comic Book Day or something that has no value at all, because I like glossy paper, so I'll start flapping the comic book in my hand and start stimming that because of the tactile sensation it brings. And that tactile sensation adds to the stimming. It makes it even like it's like there's a, I don't know, it's like like a pleasure receptor. So there's that going on, then there's like an endorphin rush from the actual stimming. So there's this pure excitement and pure pleasure that comes from that stimming. So it's very, self-stimulating. And so with that said, if a child is engaged in a stimming behavior because they're getting really excited about something, a lot of people ask me, do I try to stop that behavior? Do I try to limit that behavior? I have teachers that ask me all the time who try to get a student to work, but who is so engrossed in stimming that they won't work. Parents asking me all the time. So this is like a very big debate. And the answer is that, well, if you want them to stop stimming, usually one of the best ways is to start stimming with them, or engaging in what it is that they find exciting. Join their world, become one with their world. That is one of the keys. Now, if you try to, whatever you do, though, don't make somebody feel bad because they're stimming. Don't be like, oh, look at you, you're the only one stimming. Do you see anybody else stimming? Because I had that happen to me by a teacher, and it made me feel really, really bad. And this is natural. What we're doing, stimming, this is something that we're naturally doing. This is who we are. This is an expression of who we are. So to say that you're wrong, this is an unnatural thing to do, is not correct. Even though other people might look at it strange and funny, it doesn't matter, because this is who we are. This is how we're expressing ourselves. And so, trying to limit that behavior is probably a good idea, but trying to make it feel like you're bad, maybe say, trying to control when they stim, might help a little bit, but don't go overboard in that regard. And then there's the second type of stimming. This is what I really want to get into with this video. Second type of stimming, I've noticed, it seems that it occurs, well, it happens even with verbal people. Say someone gets very anxious with autism. I think that this happened to me a couple of times. And they they get very anxious. Maybe the teacher says something, they disagree with it, or they need it clarified. Then they might start stimming because they become anxious and they want to get it out of their system. And so it's the stimming from like not being able to express yourself or feeling anxiety. Perhaps there's, it happens very commonly in people who are nonverbal, have a very limited verbal capacity. Like there might be too much stimulation, like too many noises, or you're saying too many things and they can't comprehend all that you're saying. And once that stimming happens and you're trying to explain something to them, you've lost them. Once that stimming occurs, they're no longer hearing a word that's going through your mouth. And so there's the stimming that comes from anxiety. It's like a coping mechanism. And I I can't say if that coping mechanism is making it, making the anxiety easier to deal with, or if it's like reducing, like say there's all these sounds. I don't know if it's like reducing the sounds, or if it's like a way of recuperating for lost information. Like say you explain something to just get lost. I don't know, but I do know it comes about as a way to cope with anxiety for people with autism. So there's the stimming that comes from pure excitement, which is usually the kind that I engage in, and a lot of others with autism. And then there's the kind that typically those who have where it's verbally, where we're more verbally challenged, will stim because of high levels of anxiety. Too many noises, too many things going on. Like I said. And so what you want to do is you want to notice what triggers these stimming behaviors. If you start to see the stimming, try to find out what is triggering that. Look for a trigger. And then another thing is to maybe, if there's like say there's too much overstimulation, too many noises, whatever, try to maybe put them in a quiet corner for a little bit, let them calm down. Or let's say you're explaining too much, just maybe stop explaining. Unless of course you're in a classroom explaining to all the other kids, maybe then afterwards, maybe you maybe not, you don't single them out, but maybe just after class, you try to explain things to them if possible. Give them, the individual attention. Or say you are talking one-on-one to them and they start stimming because of that anxiety or getting lost, then just get back to it at a later time. Just don't go so quickly. So it's like trying to teach someone to ride a bike without the training wheels first. Knows that when you're sometimes explaining things. So you just gotta kind of gradually explain things over time, and that might help it. So anyway, that is what I have to say about stimming today, and I thank you for watching today's video and wish everybody an awesome day of awesomeness. Thank you.